Hi there, I'm Matt with State of Flux here with a review for Son of Godzilla. This is the eighth installment of the Godzilla franchise. And like all good franchises that begin to run out of steam, they decide to monopolize the character by breeding them. And in this film, which when I first saw it, I really did not like, but I've kind of cooled on, which is a sort of pun. This movie is kind of like about industrialized climate change. But anyway, I digress. This story revolves around people going to this island where Godzilla is at, and there's these creatures that are like big bugs that become giant kaiju bugs, big mantises, red mantises and stuff like that look very Metroid-like, like the space pirates in Metroid. And on this island is an egg. The beast that hatches from the egg is Godzilla's son, who I'm guessing you're supposed to think is cute, but I always found this dude to be nightmare-inducing. He has like vacant dead eyes and like horrid teeth and stuff like that. I always found him more traumatizing, specifically in this movie. He looks a little better when we see him next. But anyway, this was a movie I resisted for a long time. I've said before I was a big fan of Godzilla movies, but I didn't have a lot of interest in this one because the only exposure it had to Manila is from Godzilla's Revenge. And it wasn't necessarily my thing. So I didn't come to this one until 1998, when the American Godzilla movie came out. I decided to try and see all of the movies I could before that one. So that was when I first saw it, and I didn't like it. I didn't see it again until last year, and I watched it last year with my daughter, who was 6 at the time, and she loved it. She thought he was hilarious, and actually watching it through a young child's eyes opened up my my experience to being one that's very positive. I thought the movie's humor landed when I watched it with a kid, which is weird because when I watched it when I was a kid, however, I was verging on my teen years at that point. I was too cool for a baby Godzilla. But watching it with an actual kid was really kind of an eye-opening experience. I found humor where I saw none in the past, and I actually came to enjoy large aspects of the film. I really like the whole kaiju mantis thing. I'm not a spider guy, so the giant spider thing always kind of creeped me out, and that goes on for effing ever, but whatever. The one thing I will say I absolutely did not like with this movie is the redesign of Godzilla's face. I think they tried to mold it a little shrunken to look more like his humanoid face, but it's just weird, and his eyes are way too big, and I don't know, it just doesn't... Godzilla looks terrible. You can tell by this point they're straight up making these movies for children. And how far we have come from Gojira, this epic story contextualizing the aftermath of World War II in very real human terms with giant monsters. Like, I guess it shouldn't be silly that we get to this point, but at the same time, like, any honesty from that story is lost by the time you're doing Son of this. But I digress. I enjoyed it, and watching it this third time for my review, the experience of viewing it with my kid lingered with me one more time. So, as I say, I've softened on this movie. I can't quite recommend it. I'd give it 2.5. It's okay. The human side story is kind of alright. It's nowhere near as good as the previous film, Ebra, Horror of the Deep, but it is better than most of the Godzilla movies of its contemporary time period of the 60s. But yeah, and the monster fighting, the what works best is the human moments. Weirdly, with Godzilla and his kid, and Godzilla teaching his kid how to breathe fire, how that comes into the final act, and stuff like that. Yes, hi cat. Um, but I'm gonna set you down. Thank you, boy. But yeah. It's not a bad movie. It's one that if it's on, I'm not going to actively dissuade you from watching. But it is a far cry from the quality of Godzilla's past, which is distant at this time. And I think that the whole tone of Godzilla had shifted such that even the filmmakers knew that this was coming to some kind of an end. And oddly enough, their next film was the first sort of designed conclusion to Godzilla. That is Destroy All Monsters, which we will be talking about next week. I did not know up until recently that that was a sort of designed endpoint for the Godzilla franchise, a hop-off spot. Um, and so I'm kind of excited to revisit that one with that kind of in back of mind. So we'll see where that leads us. But for now, Son of Godzilla, much like its Son of Brethren, Son of Kong, and others out there, I'm very, very sure, is a fake facsimile of what came once before. That said, there is entertainment value to be had, and if you're going to watch this, pull a kid in and enjoy it through the eyes of a small child. It's fun that way. Thanks for watching, and peace.